Room 21 Rockstar families, it's so great to see you for our weekly VODCAST. We have such a short week coming up with our early out on Monday and then our day off on Tuesday. But I have so much to tell you today. So hang tight before we get to our strategies. First of all, tomorrow is an early out, 1:10 p.m. Tomorrow night is actually the Math Carnival from 5 to 7 p.m. It's free for the entire family. I'll be there. There are games, there's food, there are prizes. It's just such a great event for the entire family. I hope to see you guys all there. Again, that's from 5 to 7 tomorrow night, free for all. On Tuesday, there is no school for students. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're back to the grind. We'll actually have our Dare with Deputy Scoggins this week on Thursday, since we are missing school on Tuesday. A couple of other announcements. This week's Rockstar of the Week is actually Anitza Bonilla. Congratulations to her. Been very impressed with her effective effort and her guided reading conversations recently in class. Also, I wanted to recognize another student. Our second ever Barrett Academy backpack was handed out on Friday during Academy time to another 5th grader. This 5th grader is actually Adam A. Tarbaluti. He was awarded this backpack nominated by a teacher, and everyone he comes in contact with in the building agreed to that nomination, so he was awarded that. We're really proud of him for earning that backpack. Cannot wait to have more nominations come down through the process. Finally, a couple of other announcements. First of all, on Monday, tomorrow, students will be coming home with their conference forms with the times on them. So I need you to sign up for 3 times, put first, second, or third on them. And I'll try my best to accommodate to your schedule so that I'm able to get you in for a conference. But as I've been saying the last couple of weeks, the conferences this year are actually going to be student-led. So, number one, your child is going to have to be there as best as possible. If there's some type of scheduling conflict, I totally understand. They're going to be leading a large portion of the conference, and over the next week and a half, we're going to be practicing that in class so they can get really fluent with that. They have an understanding of what they're going to be discussing with you, and they'll be comfortable with it. But they're really going to be talking about their work, some improvements they've made so far this year, and some goals they have for the future. So I'll also be sending home a form for you with some questions on, because I want you to ask them some questions during the conference to kind of get that process going. I'm so excited about these conferences this year. So look for the information coming home tomorrow with your Rockstar. And finally, last Thursday, I sent home the permission form for the campfire/lock-in that we are having in 2 weeks on November 15th to 16th from 7 p.m. on Friday until 9 a.m. on Saturday. The permission slip needs to come back signed if your child is able to make it. A couple of announcements with that would be we need everyone to bring 1 item from the Sign Up Genius list online. So there's actually a link to Sign Up Genius on my Class Fusion page. I also sent it in the weekly email that I just sent out. So just check in on that. Try to bring 1 thing on that if at all possible. If you have any questions or concerns about the lock-in, do not hesitate to let me know. If you need another permission form, you can ask your child to pick one up at school, or I also have them available on our Class Fusion page. So, I think we're finally done with all of the announcements. Now I'm going to turn you over to the strategy session for the week with a bunch of different strategies that you can use in the home during your daily routine right now. Let me know how they go. Are they working? Are they enough? Are they too much? Let me know. Have some fun, and here we go. Okay, Room 21 Rockstar family, so the first thing that I actually want to start you off on tonight is our Class Fusion page. Here you'll see some announcements. I do have a lot of information this week about the lock-in, and you'll find a link right here that will take you to the Sign Up Genius page that actually has where you can sign up. Here you'll see all of the different things that we're asking for to have a successful evening. All you have to do is click sign up, enter your name, and we'll know that we have that covered. If you have any other ideas of things that maybe we need or something like that, just let me know. But we figured this would be the best way to make an organized list so to make sure we don't have duplicates of different things. Now, taking you back, now I'm going to take you to a little bit of math. This week we're really going to look at the foundational idea of what are fractions, because we need to be able to understand what they really are, what they look like in real life before we can go on. So I thought that I would start you off really quickly with a Khan Academy video about fractions in general. So here we go.
What we're going to talk about in this video is the idea of a fraction. We'll see there's many ways to think about a fraction. But first we'll think about the most fundamental. So let's say that I have this square, and this is the whole. We can consider this a whole. So let me write that down. This is a whole. It is a complete square. Now what I'm going to do is divide this into 4 equal parts. So with one cut like that, I've divided it into 2 equal parts. And then with another cut like this, I could divide it into 4 equal parts. So there are 4 equal parts. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one of those equal parts. So let's say this part right over here. I am going to select that. So the question is, what fraction of the whole is the part that I have shaded in red? Well, it is 1 out of the 4 equal parts, right? I've shaded in 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So we write this as this fraction. This piece represents 1/4 of the whole. And there's 2 ways that you can think about this. You could view this as 1 of the 4 equal parts, or you could view this as a whole divided by 4 would get you exactly this much. Now let's do another one, and this time let's think about how we could represent 1/8. So 1/8. Well, we could divide this whole. In this case, the whole is this rectangle looking thing. We could divide the whole into 8 equal parts. So let's do that. So here I've divided into 2 equal parts. That looks pretty good. And now I can divide each of those into 2 equal parts to get me 4 equal parts. And then if I were to divide each of those into 2 equal parts, I will have 8 equal parts. And it's not exact, obviously I've drawn it by hand, but hopefully this gets you a sense. So now I have 8 equal parts, and now I'm going to select exactly one of them. And that'll represent 1/8. And I could select any one of these, but I'll just do this one to show you it does not have to be necessarily the first one. So once again, this square right over here that I'm shading in red represents 1/8 of the whole. Now let's look at a few more examples where I've shaded them in ahead of time. And what I want you to do right now is pause the video, and either in your head or on a piece of paper, write down, if you consider this purple thing the whole, what fraction does this red part represent? If you consider this blue part the whole, what fraction does this red part represent? If you view this yellow triangle as a whole, what fraction does this red part represent? And so I encourage you to pause the video now. Well, let's look at each of these. So in this case, for this rectangle, we have 3 equal parts, and we've shaded in one of them. So this red rectangle right over here represents 1/3 of the whole. Now over here, in this kind of pie looking thing, this circle looking thing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. 5 equal parts, and we have shaded in one of those 5 equal parts. So this little slice of the pie, this represents 1/5. This right over here is 1/5 of the entire fraction, or of the entire pie. Now this one's interesting. You might be tempted to say, well, I've got 4 parts and then I've shaded in one. That must represent 1/4. But remember, it needs to be 4 equal parts. And it's pretty clear looking at this that this part right over here is not equal in size to this part right over here or this part right over here. These are not 4 equal parts. So we cannot say that this is 1/4 of the triangle. So you cannot say that.
Okay, Rockstar family, so that's one way to look at fractions this week. It's really the foundational understanding, and I'll be posting more Khan Academy videos that really get into the more advanced topics. But this is a way to kind of jumpstart that and get that discussion going in the home. Now, a couple of other things that I put on our website would actually be down here under Class News. If you click on Fraction Games, it'll take you to a site that I found that have an incredible amount of games for fractions, talking about ordering fractions, comparing fractions, just simply identifying fractions. I thought they were all really great ways to practice fractions in the home. Now, finally, I want to take you to a couple of other things. Here on the Kate Waller Barrett website, for reading this week, we're going to finish up with our reading skill of inferencing. So if you look under the reading practice, under the documents this week, I've added another resource. It's called Making Inferences Reading Between the Lines. It's actually a PowerPoint. So you'll have to open it up and download it. It's a totally safe file. I already have it opened up on my computer. And I'm just going to show you kind of what it has. So it gives you an overview of what inferencing is. That's kind of for you. And then it has some practice. So these are called trash can clues. So you would imagine that you're actually going through somebody's trash, trying to figure out about this person. So what can we infer about the family? So if you found this in the trash, what can you infer about the family? So what I would actually do is show this picture to your child and then have them write down a few things. What are some things we can put down, thinking in our mind from what we see that we can make an inference from? So here's what we came up with. Well, this family probably has a puppy. They at least feed their puppy, and it's a good brand of food. They care about their puppy. So those are all some things that we can infer. And it goes on and on and on. You have a picture and you can make some inferences. Picture, you can make some inferences. Picture, inferences. It's a great way to study and practice inferences in the home. And it's a really great source because it gives you information as well about really what inferences are. To round out the night, the last thing I just wanted to show you was actually a little bit with what we're going to be working with this week in writing. This week in writing, we'll actually be continuing to draft our memoirs, which are those stories of a section of time in our life. And I'm so excited with how far they're coming along. But in order to make our memoir more of a visual movie in the reader's mind, what we're trying to do is make our reading come to life, make our writing come to life for the reader by painting a picture in their mind. So here's a couple of things I'm going to have you do at home if you'd like to kind of improve that bit of writing. So here I've just put down 3 topics: driving to school while it is snowing outside, turkey, and school period. Just choose one of the topics and have your child take 5 to 10 minutes and write a quick story, anything that goes with that topic. But their goal is that they have to be able to write a paragraph with so many descriptive words, painting a picture in the reader's mind to the point that the reader can decide what the topic was. So the reader shouldn't know the topic to begin with. They should just read the paper and then say, okay, I think it's about this. That's what we'll be working with this week in class, and I have some really cool strategies for that. So I think that would be an awesome thing to work with in the home as well. To round it out, just a reminder to always check our Class Fusion page for all of the updates. I hope to see you at our Math Carnival night tomorrow night. If you have any questions, let me know, and now I'm going to take you back to the video. Okay, Room 21 Rockstar families, I hope that all of those strategies were useful to you. Once again, give me some feedback about them. Are they working in the home? Are they not working in the home? Are they too much? Are they too little? Let me know. I look forward to the week ahead. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to let me know. You are the best families in Stafford County. I cannot wait for the upcoming week and the rest of the year to come. Have a great week, Room 21 Rockstar families.